Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great today. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you must have noticed that I've been a little silent over all the things that have been unfolding in the last few days. And like I said in my very last video, I have been on a trip. I am still traveling, not done with that trip, and I believe that by God's grace, when I'm done with this trip, I will make it known to all what this trip has been about, and it's so refreshing and rewarding. And so keep me in your prayers. But as always, I wanted to take some time out to address some of the things that have been unfolding in the last few days, especially the debate that just happened. And after seeing that debate and seeing what the mainstream media was doing, I said to myself, oh my God, the saints of God need to rise up. The battle has already begun. Now, I've been watching the mainstream media madness for so long. I've been following it, I've been tracking it. I've never seen them this mad and this heartless and ruthless and hopeless. I've never seen them this wicked. And it is something that we've been warning everybody about for so long. I've told you this repeatedly, that these guys are planning to take away Donald Trump. They cannot just afford another 4 years of Donald J. Trump in the White House. I've explained it to you. I've told you that if care is not taken, on November the 3rd, you're probably going to see some demons like aliens come out to war against this man in order to take back the White House. We need to be wise in this season. We need to be wise in this season. It is time for us to wake up and pray. The debate happened, and everybody latched on to, Donald J. Trump did not want to condemn white supremacists. The same debate that we all watched. Are you willing to say, yes, I am willing to do it? But the man, in his usual fashion, wanted to give a point, wanted to let everybody know that our problem now is really not white supremacists. It is all about narrative. This is why they never wanted Biden to debate, because the guy has nothing to debate. They just want to be able to use Donald Trump's own words, twist it around and use it to make debate points. They knew there was nothing Biden was going to debate on. Look at the last few months, starting from the George Floyd time. Look at all the burning and looting and everything, destruction of America that has taken place. None was caused by white supremacists. The same white supremacists have always been around. And we've all lived around. I've walked around the United States of America, driven around the United States of America. I make bold to say I have driven to more than 35 states in the USA. Driving. I've been stopped by cops several times. Most of the time, they're very gentle. They say, okay, now you were doing this on this. Now you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, next time, don't do that. Do you have anything on your record? I say, no. Okay, don't do it again. And just boom, and I move. I'm a black man. I have never felt the impact of white supremacists in all of my years in America. You may have felt it, and I'm not denying that they are there. But what is it that we consider as our biggest problem? As the biggest problem of the United States of America today, it is the leftists, Antifa, Black Lives Matter. All these people, they are the ones looting. They're the ones destroying. They're the ones trying to destroy every single thing that ordinary Americans have spent years working for. Joe Biden says that it's an idea. Joe Biden says it's not an organization. This happened, and it wasn't any big news. The mainstream media was more interested in white supremacists. Call out to people who live in America. How many of you have been affected by white supremacists? How many of you have had their businesses destroyed by white supremacists? Come out if you've been a victim of white supremacist ideology. Come out. And then for those of you who in just the last few months, no, I'm comparing now the last few years you've been in America, all your years, come out and tell us what white supremacy has done to you. But just compare that. I'm talking about years. Compare it to the last few months. What the leftists, Antifa and BLM and all these crazy organizations have done to the lives of ordinary Americans. And that was not supposed to be a topic, because what we're talking about here is Donald J. Trump. Yeah, it's Trump. So don't talk about it making evil look good. Anybody who still believes anything from the mainstream media, who still believes CNN, I saw them foaming from both sides of their mouths. They were so scared that people thought they were actually happy. Biden didn't win jack. Biden had nothing to talk about. If Biden had anything to talk about, why were they stopping Trump? Even up to the last minute, right before the debate, Nancy Pelosi was still insisting that Biden should not debate Donald Trump because they know the guy has nothing to offer. In all honesty, I mean, Trump didn't even come out the way I wanted him to come out. But there was nothing from Joe Biden, nothing whatsoever. Donald J. Trump is the man. But far from that, what we need to do now is pray. Step away from the politics a little bit and get into your closet and just pray. Mark my words, things are gonna get so bad, and it's such a shame. I'm tired of saying this, but I have to still say it. It's a shame that people who name the name of the Lord are solidly standing behind a man who is cheerleading for leftists, for ultra-liberal elements, the globalists, those who want to bring about same-sex marriage and make it a norm, who want to bring about partial birth abortion, those people who want to bring about the extermination of mankind through wars and all kinds of evil policies. I keep asking my fellow Christians, what do you have in common with the Democrat Party? What do you have in common with Joe Biden? I am asking for a friend. What do you have in common with these guys? I haven't got an answer from anybody. Oh, Trump is this, Trump is... No, don't tell me about Trump. Tell me about your candidate, Joe Biden. What is it that is attracting you to Joe Biden that you prefer him and take him over a man who has stood so strongly for Christian values, who has helped those of us in third world countries to be alive and to still name ourselves Christians openly without any fear, despite the threats that we face on daily basis, which was brought on us by the Democrats. I have made videos upon videos to prove it to you. The massacre of Christians that we now witness in most parts of Africa was brought upon us by the Democrat Party under Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton. I have proven this. I'm not just making wild allegations. These are the people who do not care whether you die or live. These are the people who support elements that are against our own religious belief. We have seen a man who has not just talked, but he has backed his words with action. He has come up with executive orders to protect people who are being persecuted for the sake of their religion around the world, of which Africa is the principal target. African Christians. What more do you need from this man? That's why I keep telling people, go to our website, africansfortrump2020.org. Go there, click on the page that says Why Trump, see the things he has done and the many more he is still doing. The man is a defender of our faith. Whether you like him or not, whether you like the way he talks or not, whether you like the way he walks or not, he has proven. He's not saying I will do, he has done. Now you are trying to follow a man who has a track record of not standing by Christians. You can name one thing Joe Biden has done in 47 years to defend the faith that you profess today. But you want to stand behind him, despite all the things you know. I take it as one of those signs of the end. But to the remnant, the few who still are alive and awake in the spirit, I call upon you all to pray. Please pray. It's going to be deadly. It's going to be deadly. I'm telling you, the guys are all out. Look at the mainstream media. But even as we pray, do not be afraid, because they did worse in 2016 for Hillary, to the point of giving her 98% chance of becoming president. Yet, the Lord dealt with them. They are pushing Joe the way they push Hillary, but worst off, they push Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You see how the liberals protected this woman, tried to stop her from dying. They did everything. Whenever she complained of having a little flu, oh, they would just gather and pump stuff into her body just to keep her alive, because they did not want anything to happen to that woman. If you don't believe in God, ask yourself, what happened? That the Lord went past all their schemings to keep that old woman alive and still said, no, it's enough. You need to go now. If God could do that, something they never expected. You saw how many of them were already freaking out like they did when Trump won in 2016. Freaking out that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. No, God owns all lives. He can take anyone he wants, whenever he wants. He will do whatever he pleases, that whatever pleases him. Yes, he will do it. He's God. You don't believe in him, I believe in him. I have seen him work several times, and mark my words, he's coming to play. He's coming to town again soon in this upcoming election. So as we pray, I don't want us to pray in fear. God will do what only he can do. Pray by faith and trust. Don't let fear has torment. We will not be afraid. We will pray, and God will deliver us from the shackles of these wicked people. They didn't want her to die, but she died. And now we have a woman who will become a defender of the faith, nominated. They had not even gotten over that, and now we have the debate. So they have so much to deal with. So much. That woman was prophesied to be a Supreme Court nominee in 2018. She was prophesied. She was in prophecy. This one is the heart of God. And Trump ended up 2 years later appointing the woman. If believers know what is unfolding in the White House, it is not an American thing. It's a global change. It's a global transformation that is unfolding, and the powers of darkness are irate, angry, ready to do anything to stop this move of God for the whole world. Trust me. Forget partisanship. There's a major shift that is happening, and believers need to plug in and connect. Like I always say, don't be over much sentimental about these things. Just look in the Spirit, follow the Spirit of God, and know where God would have all of us stand. That's me. Where is God's own stand? I don't care about human frailty, but where does God want us to stand? And that's where I'm standing today. Why are they fighting a Supreme Court nominee? Because they know what they're planning to do. You saw the video I've been posting on my Facebook page, Joseph Okechukwu, how Ilhan Omar of Minnesota is directly connected with voter fraud. Clearly, how through mail-in voting, through absentee ballots, huge, massive fraud. And when Trump says it, oh, America never had any case of huge fraud associated with absentee ballots or mail-in ballots or whatever. Anything this man says, is not true. And he's the president of the United States of America, has access to the most potent and the most viable, most accurate intelligence you can think of in the world. And yet when he speaks, they call him a lie. But the ones who don't know anything are the ones who are speaking the truth. And we watch all these things and allow these people to sway us. They know what they're doing. It's going to be a lot of fraud. I told you their own war games. They said it clear that they found out that Trump won in their own war game. This is Democrats conducting a war game. Some predictive programming thing. They actually saw from their own predictive programming show that Trump won. But then that they're going to refuse to accept defeat. And when they refuse to accept defeat, why are they going to refuse? Why is it that in that war game, Joe Biden refused to accept defeat? Why? Because when he refuses, they can now pull in some crazy mail-in voting figures. They will say, oh, these are absentee ballots coming in now. They're going to use whatever number that is needed to topple whatever Trump must have gotten. And at that time, Trump will say, I can't take it. It's not true. It's not possible. This is not going to work. And that's when you're now going to have the stalemate. Watch, you're going to see. Trump is going to win by a landslide. Going by the normal election process, he will win. But then they will come in from the back doors with their absentee ballots to topple it. And he's going to refuse. And he's going to end up in the Supreme Court. And when he ends up in the Supreme Court, of course, John Roberts, who is supposed to be conservative, has shocked many of us several times by voting along the lines of liberalism. And you can't trust him. So it's like -1 for the conservatives. So having this woman there now is a sure, like what Nigerians call sure banker, that we are going to have somebody who can at least vote in defense of justice and not voting along liberal party lines to please the globalists. That's why we need that woman. That's why the nomination happened, and that's why God is going to confirm it. There's so much happening. I won't say it's unfortunate I'm on a trip now, but I'm going to keep updating us to the best of my knowledge. But the highlight of this video is not even to analyze the politics of what has been going on. It is just to call us to pray. We all need to pray and pray and pray like we never did before. And I know that in the end, God will give us victory. Like I always say, don't worry about all the nonsense you see from the mainstream media. They did worse in 2016. They even went to the point of printing a magazine and writing on the back of it with the image of Hillary Clinton, Madam President. I think on the reverse they put Donald Trump's image and said why he lost. And when Trump was declared winner, they packed up their papers and shoved it down there. You know what? Yeah. God is God. Men don't understand. They don't believe it, but God is God. And he will come through for us again. May God bless and keep you.